Hello everyone that's just joining live or watching this at a future time. I'm getting a lot of energy already coming in, so I'm doing my best to just tune in now to what is wanting to come through. So this is a collective reading, meaning I'm going to be sensing and feeling and reading the energy of everyone that is watching this in this moment, and then guides of mine and ours are scanning from all of the future moments. This is typically a reading that I start and I'm feeling like lots of excitement and curiosity, but today it feels like we might be digging some things out. Just to be honest about the energy I'm reading. So if that pertains to you in any way, if you feel like I'm just going to channel this intro message in before I pull the first card. So if it pertains to you that you've been working on yourself, working on your shadows, working on accepting yourself, trusting yourself, loving yourself, what I'm sensing is there's one last mask, I'll call it, one last cloak, I'll call it, one last identity, or maybe a personality trait, or it could even be a big decision is what I'm sensing. But there's one little thing that you feel like you're working through the last layer of. If that pertains to you, just know that this session might be the session that digs it out. So just be prepared to hydrate, be prepared to practice self-care after this, and be prepared to have some layers of yourself be seen again that might be a little uncomfortable. So that feels like I filtered through the layer that I was sensing. So again, if it applies to you that you feel a little bit like you're nearing a very deep layer of your healing cycle, of your healing journey, then just be prepared to practice self-care after experiencing this reading. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So, and there's no fear around any of this. Truly, when we can dig out the parts of us that we've been running from or hiding from, that is like the biggest freedom move we can make. It's like I'm seeing someone like break through the tape at the end of a marathon, and it's a beautiful moment. But like running a marathon, when you burst through that tape and you realize and you kind of scan what you've just worked through, there might be that sort of feeling of like after a storm, or that feeling of I need to definitely, after a marathon, you're definitely going to need to go rest. So just know that. And the first card we're getting, and this will indicate what kind of shadows we're going to be dancing with today and facing and integrating today. So 4. First card we're getting is Hyriath, longing for home, homesick for the stars. So I'm getting some of the shaping around what we're working in this oracle. So what I'm seeing is, a lot of you might feel like the odd one out. You might feel weird. You might feel different. You might feel strange. You might feel this sense of like you'll never find your tribe here on planet Earth. And what this card is showing up to remind you of is because that whatever that sensation or that feeling, that star system, that family, that council of light, that social memory complex that you feel this missing, this longing for, this card's showing up and this reading is showing up in your life because you're being reminded it's not out there, it's within. As above, so below. As within, so without. And I still have my echo on. Let me turn down my echo. There we go. Yes. I'm moving through these cards fast today, I have a feeling. So to get some clarity on that, fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. So as you're awakening your starseed gifts, as you're awakening your healing gifts, as you're awakening your clairs, as you're coming into your wholeness, your authenticity, the aspects and expressions of you that you've buried and suppressed through a lot of your life to fit in, you're being invited to fall into Mama Gaia's arms. She is here for us. She holds us. She grounds us. She nurtures us. She provides for us. She's the feeling of being held. So lean on her. Lean into her. And ground. And I'm sorry I had an echo on before, so it's not weird channeling stuff happening here. It's just me turning the echo down. So, okay, so I want to ask a feeler question for those of you that are here live in this moment. And of course, if you're watching it in the future, you can leave a comment and maybe it'll reawaken some blooms. Okay, so the question I'm getting cued to ask you is, if you were held and supported, what gift would awaken within you right now? If you knew you were held, you knew it wouldn't matter if you started seeing spirits again because you're held. You knew it wouldn't matter if you started reading minds again because you're held. It wouldn't matter if you started to be able to predict events again because you'll be held. Mediumship, beautiful. So then this moment in your life is occurring right now because your spirit guides want you to know that whatever your gifts are, they're special. They're truly gifts. We start to view them as curses in some cases, but they're gifts. And so your spirit guides are showing up through me. Your higher self is showing up through me to say to you, they're safe. Yes, you turned them off because you perceived them as scary, but they're safe. Is it normal to know your spirit guide's name? Yes. And is it normal to not know your spirit guide's name? Yes. And yes, so as an empath, I might be pulling through some accents. That's not my accent. Okay, let me just streamline it. So as your gifts are coming back online, as you're starting to allow them back online, know that Mama Gaia supports you and that you're safe, and that the programming that led you to turn them off and the programming that led you to think your gifts that are maybe being able to see the unseen or be able to shift the energy of another very quickly, the gift to feel another's feelings, you're being reminded that you only turn them off because you learned something in this world that told you it wasn't safe to have them on. And we're at a time on the planet now where spirit is loud. I heard that's one of the things you might start noticing when you're tuning into your spirit guides and when you're tuning into source and the divine. It's loud, it's bright. It can be very it can be shocking to the system if we've muffled ourselves from the light and the love for long enough. And I'm picking up on a pattern. Feels we might have the Akash. Yes, it's flowing. So I'm picking up on a collective pattern that's about love and expressing our love. So our gifts really come through in the way of light and information. But if we're not lubricating that light in love, it hurts. So, and so a lot of us may have created this pattern of resisting love. And that's the component that really needs to come back in and come online fully. Because if we're trying, this is just the collective energetic template I'm seeing right now. Check if it resonates with you, leave it if it doesn't. But if you're sensing that your gifts are being stunted or you're sensing that your gifts won't come back online, it's because you're only considering the light. You're not considering the love. So basically, you're trying to pull in all this light and it's scaring you because you don't have that lubricant of love first. So, I had the adult setting on here. We need these lubricants here because we need to make these processes of spiritual blossoming happen without hurting. And I'm blushing. So we're going to move on with the next card. What kind of talk show is this? It's not a talk show. It's definitely not a talk show. It's a channeled Akashic oracle reading for the collective. So basically what I'm doing here, who asked that about the talk show? Maximus, is, I know I went down a kind of a path. That's not typical for me. But basically I'm tuning into the collective energies of those present and that will be watching this in the future. I'm reading the energy, I'm sensing the energy. My spirit guides are with me, kind of guiding me. And then I pull cards. I sometimes answer questions if they're pertinent to the collective. But it's not a talk show. I've thought about a podcast and I'm still thinking about it, but I have a book being written and several memberships blooming, and so I'm handling my baskets as I can, if you know what I'm saying. And I'm getting 7 as our next card. Sorry about all the lube talk. 1, 2, 3. Deep cellular healing. Thanks, Maximus. Arcturus energy. Yeah, and that's coming through a lot right now because what I was just bringing through was a lot of the Pleiadians and the Lyrans. So when the Pleiadians and the Lyrans dance, whoo-hoo, watch out. It's like sparks flying because the Pleiadians bring in this, deeply loving and gentle energy. The Lyrans come in with this kind of confidence and this strength and this boldness, which honestly I'm learning. I'm opening to. But we're getting this Arcturus energy because as we're raising our vibration, as we're shifting our frequency, as we're getting to know our core frequency and core vibration, which is really important process in all of this. Okay. The Arcturians really kind of come in to help us organize. They'll sort of sweep in, and it feels like this is turning into a lot more of a channeled healing than an oracle read, just so everyone knows. Because yes, you can say yes to the light codes, but the light codes are pouring in, so they're probably going to go somewhere in your field. Just to throw that out there. But the Arcturians come in and they help us organize our life. And they help us understand that our deep cellular healing is truly what's taking place. So a lot of times in healing, we want to know, is this ancestral? Is this, from my soul contracts? Is this because I'm to be learning something? Or we have all of these needs to know about our learning journey. And the Arcturians can help us with this. So I'm going to have the Arcturians tune into this question that's coming through from Tracy. I'm asking a question in my head. Would you be willing to pull a card and read that one that falls? Sure, we'll try it out. We'll see what happens. 3. I got a 3 in my head for your question. And I am channeling, so I might go in and out of going to the collective in one question and miss, comments and things. So the answer I got was in reverse for you, and it's you're not for everyone. This is probably for the collective too, so thank you for prompting this. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. And so because it came in reverse, you probably are getting the message, and let's just tune it to the collective so it's pertinent for everyone. That was just a little language for me to calibrate the message that's coming in. So when you learn that you're not for everyone, it is such a freedom and a relief. Because especially for someone that's a starseed or considers themselves kind of different or weird, or you might have considered it hard to fit in growing up, you eventually learn the lesson that your weirdness is your magic. Those parts of you that you wanted to kind of temper and keep quiet and dull down, and yep, you might still North Node in Pisces. Okay. So that means that's Aries then? No, that's Libra and Aries. What is your South Node is what Spirit wants me to ask, because I don't really know about astrology, but I get messages on it. But what I'm seeing is you got to stop dimming your light is the message for, was it Tracy? Was it you that asked? I think it was you. But it's definitely for the collective here. So basically just, okay, yeah. So Spirit wants to give you this last little message of, you learned this lesson already. You know that shining your authentic light is the only way to be here. Trying to be anyone else is ceaseless. Trying to fit in is ceaseless. There's a thread of you that, yeah, and it feels like this is for the collective. There's a thread of you that's still, maybe even me too, but there's a thread of you that still is thinking to yourself, well, I've learned to read the collective. I get what the collective wants of me, so it's easier for me to read that than just to be fully me. And what Spirit's leading you to know in this moment, to just remember and to re-solidify, is that is the lie that the programming told you. It's anytime that we're exerting our effort in a direction or in an expression or in a way of us that's inauthentic to us, we're draining our energy. We're capping our energy. We're preventing ourselves from flowing our essence here, our soul here, our oversoul here, our higher self here. So I hope, does that feel like it was what you were looking for when you asked the question? Hopefully. And if it triggered you, then I'm kind of sorry to be the one to do it. Good. Okay. All right. And back to, and that did feel like for everyone, honestly, here. So it wasn't just, and you know what? That's an intention I've actually set for these oracle readings, is that I'm going to read what applies to everyone. So even if you have a question, I might not get to it. There are instances, thank you for the question. Honestly, it felt like an important one for all of us. And we're at 17, and whenever we're at 17, like something feels, and I'm getting told to pull the 8th card, which would be the numerology of 17. Okay. And pulling information from the quantum field and then coming down to count cards in my body, it's a hilarious feeling. I just want to share that. This one's in reverse too. Okay, so that's actually something I've recently been into the knowing of, the remembrance of. So when you get it in reverse, it's kind of like your South Node. So it's the review of lessons learned. It's not so much the peer forward of lessons to be learned. So it's kind of like our chance to go, when you get a card in reverse, it's having you review the lesson once more, but to also know that the lesson has been sort of completed. And that's sort of new. I just channeled that in. But I have gotten something to that tune before. So activated earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. So again, this is something you've already kind of anchored in your life. But, let me feel deeper. So ley lines, we've got a lot of grid workers here. Those of you that don't know you're a grid worker, definitely. If you're here, everyone who's here now and will watch this, you are a grid worker. It's part of your DNA. Yes. So what that means, let me share what that means, because this is even a new understanding for me too. What that means is that your body is going to be subtly nudging you locationally throughout your life. And you're also going to get subtle nudges that will probably stand out to you and be repetitive, like in your face about go to this place, like again and again and again and again and again until you kind of heed that call. Your grid worker aspect of your soul blueprint is going to be sort of barking at your door or knocking at your door. So yeah, so like I've been getting to go to Machu Picchu for about 10 years and I still haven't gone. So I'm going to keep getting that in my face until I go. So for you, you've probably been getting, this may not necessarily be for you to go travel to a place, but this is hopefully going to be clicking in some of your understanding of your body's intuition. So your body may kind of, maybe even in the way of dance or in the way of just, you almost feel, yeah, this is what I'm feeling from all of you, but you almost might feel like kind of your body sway certain ways to kind of pull you, nudge you along your path, and know that that's spirit awakening from deep within your cells, because you're a grid worker. Numbers. Yeah, I get a lot of numbers too. 1s and 9s. So let me tune into so 1s are typically when you're coming into your source wholeness. 9s are symbolic of right before completion. So 9s are symbolic of kind of like what I talked about with the reversed card. So when you're seeing 9s a lot, it's to say like, you done good. You completed the cycle. And now you're going to kind of reset, be reborn. Yeah. That's just what I channeled in and what the feel I get from it. But of course, we're all going to have our own specific read on energies. So what numerology may mean to me, yeah, it may represent something or be brought through in different words for you. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we're going to play that game again. This is going to be the last card I pull because this is just a short one. If you're having fun here, Noel, I'll be back on Friday for the longer read. Those have been really, really powerful and potent. They should do it around lunch time. I'm in Central Standard Time. Okay, so the game. Whoever wants to play the game, it'll probably be about 5 more minutes of the card read. I can't guarantee it's going to be 5 minutes. I can't read time when I'm channeling. But I want you to look at this card and the first number that comes up for you. The first number that comes up for you. It could be a felt number, a heard number, a seen number, a felt, just the first number that comes up. Now write it in the comments. The first number. Because I'm going to kind of scan for the numbers 3 and 7, 8. We got a lot of 7s and 8s. Okay, 5, 7. Okay, we've got lots of 7s, lots of 8s, 2, 4. Oh, we are all across the board. Okay, I'm going to pull out all the cards to show you the cards, and I'm going to share messages on the ones that I feel are pertinent. So in case you didn't share it and you got a 1, flash it there. In case you got a 2 and you want to get that message, whoop, I'm going to flash it there. Look at all these in reverse. So this is showing up to just tell us all to take a collective deep breath. Excellent work. Card 3, which I'm not going to read, but I feel like you need to see it, so I'll just hold it here for you. Card 3. And I'm also getting, is this the dive in card? It's probably the dive in card. So dive in. Whatever that thing is that's like percolating, dive in. Just jump right in. Okay, you can do it. Okay, 4, I'm going to read 7 and 8. 5, blue flame, cool, cool. You're protected. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, 6, 7. I'm going to read 7, and then I'm going to read 8. But you got what you were meant to get from this. Another reverse portal. Yeah, that makes sense. Doors are opening, you decide, rewards, wild card. So the message I'm getting on this is, for those of you that called 7 or you're resonating with 7, when you first start to open portals, you can be a little spooked because you realize portals are real. And then you realize, oh, there's portals everywhere. And then you realize, oh, my chakras are portals. And then you realize that just portals exist. And so you get that like little feeling that you shouldn't open portals. And what you can know right now is that this planet is overseen by some beings that are so unbelievably divine and radically protective that these things are all overwatched and overseen. And as long as you're setting the intention that you're only opening portals to love, that you're immersing yourself in unconditional love with everything you do, and when you open up these portals of light for miraculous healing, you're doing so with a core heart intention that you came here to serve. You came here to activate light in others and in yourself. Yeah, it feels like shed your fear of portals is for 7. Forge, don't follow, 100%. Yes. Yeah. You know what's right for you. You know it, you feel it, you sense it. Go for it. Don't let anyone hold you back. And then number 8, which came, by the way, in right side up. So that means this is what we're, and it feels like this is the collective message too. This is what we are all stepping into right now. Everyone here, now and in the future, double mission. Lightworker, Starseed, serve the world by being you. I'm going to read that sentence again. Serve the world by being you. You're not going to serve the world by seeing a template out there and trying to be it. You're going to serve the world by being you. You're going to complete your double mission of being a child of the cosmos, a celestial being of the stars, and here on earth to serve earth. Here on earth to serve earth. That's why it's a double mission. You're working for the light and you're working for Mama Gaia at the same time. Cool. We're doing both. We're not picking, are we serving the collective or are we serving us and our soul? We're picking both. They don't have to be exclusive from each other. That's what we're stepping into. So all of the beginning of this read was summing up what we already learned. Now we're learning how to live a double mission. Both and. Us and. I and we. It's the same thing. So those of you that are here, especially right now live, you're serving by being you. That's all you have to do. You don't have to learn another modality. You don't have to take another class even. If it's for self-care, if it's because it makes, no, not makes, because it helps you feel good, beautiful. But do you need it to be more you? No. And you're hearing this from someone that sells courses. You're hearing this from someone that would love to serve you. And yet, I need you to know, you don't need it. It's not a need for you. You don't need something outside of you to be more you or to serve the planet or to make your neighborhood a more friendly place to live. You don't need anything or anyone outside of you to go out and smile at a stranger and maybe prevent them from doing something awful to themselves or others. But you don't need to be anyone you're not. That's the lesson that we're here together sharing and awakening to, remembering. And I feel like a lot of grounding and warmth in my body right now, because this is a message we all needed. Because as a starseed, you might get this feeling like, I'm not even from here. And I don't even get humans. And so what am I doing? And Spirit's showing up for all of us right now to share, you're doing what you came here to do. You're spreading light. And you're doing it from your own joy. And now it kind of feels like a talk show, and it makes me feel a little uncomfortable in my ego. But I just want to conclude with, me too. It's making me emotional too. We're just being asked that when we're getting to that point in life where we feel like we need to hermit or we need to turtle shell because we just can't handle everything going on out there, it feels like Spirit's just showing up to remind us the yes and thing, where take the time you need to protect your energies, but also know that you did come here to see light. And especially on a time on the planet where there's feels to be a lot of chaos, we're sensing a lot of opposing energies and fictitious energies. We're just being reminded, first of all, this too shall pass. The energies will even out again. Even when it feels like we're on we're in the hell of the storm or whatever, we'll get through it. Eventually, we will. So just remember that double mission. Remember that, yes, you're a starseed and you're a light being. And also remember those people out there we see in the world that we sense as not a light being or someone that's fallen for human programming. We're just being reminded that underneath that BS they're presenting is a light being too. We all are. So remember your double mission. Remember that you're from the stars, but also remember that you came here because you wanted to be here. You came here and you were in, I get told this a lot and I'm always like, wow, this is so wild. But we wanted to be here, and there was many, 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 many other souls that wanted to be here too. And we were given permission to be here for a reason. And we're going to do it from overflow. We're going to figure out, what do I need today? What do I need to be filled up today? How can I show myself love today? How can I prove to myself today again that I'm trustworthy of leading my life if we've forgotten that in the past? We do those things, we fill ourselves up, and then before you know it, you're going to want to pour out to those people, even those people that like you sensed as asleep or sensed as whatever. You kind of want to follow anyone that was here, do it. Because I definitely, I attract a lot of starseeds. I attract a lot of butterflies breaking out of the cocoon. And, I also attract some that are coming in and saying, like, repent and things like that. And I really want to help those people, too. I want them to know that they didn't come into this planet as a awful, negative, sinner, dark being. I want them to know they came in as a pure soul and that they're just getting back to that, and that they don't have to beg for acceptance to be accepted, and my guides actually showed me one of my gifts is that I can help the largest bandwidth of awakened beings. So I'm able to help those who exactly. Yeah. I'm able to help those who came in awakened, and I'm also able to help those that may have, not realized their power, their essence, their truth until the second I meet them. So that is one of the arrays of my gifts, and truly it took me a long time to shine my light. I just want to share that really vulnerably and honestly. I've been repracticing shining my light again for about 3 years on the planet. And I want to say the first year, it was incredibly difficult, incredibly difficult. I was so terrified of coming back out again about my gifts. But now I know exactly what kind of streamed through today, which I'm terrified of coming back out again about my gifts. But now I know exactly what kind of streamed through today, which is this is my authenticity. This is who I am. And so to fight who we are it's just going against everything in our being. And I'm just here to remind us of that. Just be who you are. You might not be for everyone, but I guarantee you're for at least 16 people that are here right now. Because we wouldn't have been in this resonant field if you weren't. And I do ask, if you liked this and you had fun, that you give this page a follow. That still feels so like, I have a hard time asking for likes, follows, and all that jazz. Yeah, it glitched for a second. Someone tried to come on and it sometimes does a glitch. But it does feel like I should probably post this to my YouTube, so I probably will do that. It'll be at Soul Healing with Bree if you guys want to watch it again, because it felt like a lot was dropping in. A lot was being reviewed again for us, just to remember everything that we awoken and remembered. But at the end there, that double mission message felt like I felt my whole body like shift cellularly. So come back on Friday. I'll do another one of these on Friday. It'll be longer. What else? And I'm just being told to pull this card, another reverser, but called Soul Gifts and Training. It's time to step up. Again, it came in reverse, so you already know it. Just reaffirming it. Right after, I'm going to end this in just a second. Right after I'm done, I ask you to go write down your soul's yearnings. And if you can, do one of them. And I love you all so much. See you on Friday, maybe. Thank you for being here. You do know it. You do know it. Love you all. Namaste.